Welcome to a zerok cast between Chomolungma in the red with Shieldbots versus in the blue with Cloakbots. It's Dregs. And thing is, you don't often see Chomolungma in ranked 1v1. But they're here now, and they're still singularity ranked because of their casual play. So, yep, this is still going to be a great match, I hope. Glaives did take down the dirtbag. Also, something I do want to add is that Chomolungma actually used Engineer Commander Epic Builder level 1, yeah. You don't often see that on this map. This map, because of the hill here and the metal extractor, often you see Recon Commander just like Dregs did, because then you can jump down from here. You can just go like, whee, there. But no, Chomolungma actually going for an Engineer Commander. Little bit of raiding already by Dregs, did lose 2 glaives to the Lotus, but does now clean up the eco and make Chomolungma retreat with their convict. Should stay up, no problems. And on this side, Raider is up. Here, Conjurer is all. Oh wow! Massive wind farm immediately. Little bit interesting. You don't often see that that much early on. I mean, this is very early planning. Later you might see such a wind farm, but not at this stage of the game, I would say. Anyways, over here Glaive will have the better engagement actually, because it's going to regen. And well, eco pretty much even though Chomo is not able to use the jump down to get these metal extractors quickly with their commander. Reclaiming with the convict, always nice, because well, there is actually quite a lot of reclaim on this map. Over here, one glaive did go down, little bit sad for Dregs. And reclaiming first? No, first Lotus, then metal extractor. Sure, I mean, it's probably decent, but normally fast metal is more prioritized, as higher prio. But in this case, not really. Probably doesn't have the production to keep that up. Not completely sure. Anyways, over here Dregs is expanding same way as Chomo is, however, with the recon just a little bit faster. Now, couple of bandits should not be able to do anything because there is a big bad Reaver coming in. And if you group up like this, you're sure to be killed. And there it goes. Reaver will even regen, making it a very good engagement for Dregs. Couple of skirms are already coming out. And yeah, okay, so just standard riot skirm combo. Makes complete sense to me. Over here, Chomo expanding with Lotus double, actually. Sure thing. A little bit more defensive than, well, I'd say most other pros are. At least the ones that we usually cast, like Masper, Izzy Red, Dregs, Goda. They hardly have any defenses, maybe one Lotus on 2 metal extractors. But 2 over here, even though there is not an immediate threat, is a little bit interesting. Over here, Sparrow is now going to scout and not die yet. Rogues, even though they were nerfed, are still strong, and Skirmisher now is going out. Nice thing about your Ronins though, they hit in a straight line, which means that they are, I'd say more likely to hit than the rogues are. But well, rogues are still really good when you just walk in a straight line. With micro, it's very easy to dodge rogue shots, a little bit less so for Ronin shots, I'd say. But doesn't really matter which one. Spiders, no, jump bots is already coming out for Dregs soon. And another 2 Lotus, this time on the high ground. Really nice, because this is of course giving at least a little bit of map position and also defensive position for the commander. Over here, Dreg also quite defensive because they're pushing in quite close to the enemy base. A lot of bandits over here as well. Though, why don't you go around the skirm yet? I don't know. Or like, keep them with your own skirms in order to defend those. Because right now they are quite vulnerable to just a couple of raiders. Over here, pickets from the convicts. And commander is going back. Probably a good idea. Even though there is not that much over here for Chomo in terms of like units. But still wouldn't have been something the commander would easily push. Over here, double Firewalker soon. And actually just going Firewalker. Firewalker against shields is pretty decent. Just because, well, you can drain the shields from afar. Which makes it easier for your other units to like go in there. Over here though, I mean, these rogues are not being dealt with, like why? Also, why are they pushing in 5 rogues on their own? I don't fully understand that. And into the water you go. At least that way the flames don't hit you. I mean, the glaives over there, not exactly the smartest ones either. Will barely live, yep. And one rogue will slowly climb back up. Over here another rogue and, well, should still be cleaned up by the glaives because there is nothing else over here for Chomo. Over here also like just rogues, I mean their bandits were so far behind. I don't really understand why they do that. Bandits now, once they get in range, of course, are able to clean up the glaives quite nicely. And might even get these 2 slings. There they go. Right, now Firewalker though, once again, like decent against bandits. Only 340 HP, so, well, that should be a decent counter. Probably not as good as these Reavers would be. But still good enough, because at least you can outrange the bandits by a lot. And even the rogues. Over here, this one rogue is maybe going to do something soon. Doesn't look like it do. Chomo on this side is actually getting up an Aegis, or like has gotten up an Aegis. And with quite a couple of base defenses, I mean, this is not an easy position to push. Depending on like what weapon they're going for with their epic builders soon, could be a bit of a problem for Dregs. And Firewalkers are also being pushed back. Chasing through the fire is of course not exactly great for these rogues. But actually like, there isn't much over here for Dregs. And I mean, look at that eco, 50 versus 40. And that's without that much reclaim. I mean, that's not great for Dregs. However, over here, taking down the energy pylon with a big explosion, losing most of your glaives in the process, that's not great. Because, yeah, 700 plus over here in reclaim. That should all be for Chomo. And with 3 conflicts closed, that should easily be cleaned up. Chomo going for gunship switch. Probably just going to raid with them, I would imagine. Raiding like here, the metal extractors and wind generators is of course nice because this is relatively difficult to defend. Just because, well, once your units are up there, they have to go all the way around in order to like actually go back. And the same thing goes for the army that you've already got in front. It has to circle all the way around the mountain before they can actually defend against those locusts. Now, Firewalker though, over here, Firewalker, Sling, that's quite scary for this position. Yes, Aegis is nice, however, not going to live for that much longer, I would hope, for Dregs. Over here, one single Reaver, pretty much. Did actually get cleaned up by a couple of bandits, because yeah, in numbers, bandits are still strong enough to overwhelm a single Reaver. Now, Dregs, what do you have? I mean, you're reclaiming over here, that's 500, that's fine. However, what are you going to do against the bandits? Because just Firewalker isn't going to cut it, I would say. Nicely spotted. The Locust, I'm not sure if Chomo actually used them already, or you just scouted there were some air units. Not completely sure. And Dregs will probably live this. Yeah. Not even that close. Rogue, I don't know what you're doing over there. You're not exactly doing a lot. Do you give good scouting? And no, not really. So, Rogues over here now should be able to clean up the river if it is not microed, which it is, but still it does. Triple or even quadruple Firewalker, quintuple even, wow. I mean, Dregs really has gotten up quite a mass of Firewalkers. And if there is enough fire on the ground, you can't really escape it. What do you do against that if you're Chomo? Maybe you could use your Locust for that, but nope, Locusts are going in for either the production, and there is also a tank factory over here. Good switch by Dregs. I don't know, like either you go for... Are you going for a fusion? No. Just a lot of the eco, or you're going for factories, one of the two, but Toads are already here. Not my favorite kind of anti-air, but I mean it's still good enough against Locust. And most of the Locusts have been cleaned up. Last couple will live on, probably. At least for a little while longer. But yeah, that was quite an investment for Chomo, and that's a lot of reclaim, 1.2 thousand. Finally the Rogue has actually gotten a couple of actions done. It shot a couple of missiles over here. Not that many. Right. Did you also go airplane plant? Ooh. And you're also now on Junkbot. I don't know... I mean, airplane and gunship is a little different. I get that, and I mean, yeah, against Firewalkers you can definitely use a couple of Ravens. I just wonder if it's useful to go for, like, double air. Because both air factories get countered by anti-air. Even though, like, if you would switch just like Dregs did with, like, a tank factory or, like, rovers, something like that, you at least get a different type of unit out. Which doesn't get countered that easily by the same thing. I mean, Firewalker doesn't really do anything against Minotaurs, for instance. Now, Ravens are going in and do destroy at least one Firewalker. And yeah, that's actually a worthwhile engagement. I mean, it's just 600 value versus 900, and they can go back and kill another one soon. I just wonder if it's going to be useful. I mean, emissaries definitely you could use your Ravens against. But there we have Atin, the flak anti-air. And a lot of Glaze are going to demolish this forward base. As long as they stay inside of the shields. Oh well, enough Lotus is actually able to clean that up. But with the large shield gone, Firewalker should be able to do a decent job over here. Here though, I mean, same thing, Firewalker's trying to push forwards. Though, not exactly healthy or like with a lot of HP for tank factory, but still almost 2000 on the no good. Atin over here, 1400. Yeah, that's kind of difficult to take down with just Firewalkers. Crane. This is one I don't fully understand. Like, why the airplane constructor? Are you going to try and sneak up here and create a proxy base? I don't know. Economy is still way in favor for Chomo. And wouldn't surprise me if that's what's keeping them in this game. Oh well, I mean, Over here, well, this position, you really want to clean up these firewalkers, but with the Atom close, your Ravens aren't going to cut it. As long as the Atom doesn't move too far forwards. Over here, pickets will be cleaned up quite quickly, and a lot of defenses here for Dregs, so these bandits should not be able to clean all of these up. I would hope. Maybe I just completely misjudged that. No, I mean they wouldn't be able to take them down in a frontal assault, but they did clean up at least a little bit of economy, which is still really nice. Over here, Pyros. Not sure what they are going to try and do. And Firewalkers here still trying to get this position back. Because if we remember, this is where Dregs was earlier on in the game. Over here, Ogre should be able to push this, I would hope. I mean, there is not actually anything close for Chomo. Though, of course, Dregs might not know that. And yeah, moderators are quite strong, at least in that officer burst. I mean, it's like 460? Yep, 460 damage per one. Wasting that on the glaive is not great. With like its 230 HP. Oh well. Over here, Firewalker's still doing a great job, and great counter to Firewalker. Something that is armored. I mean, it doesn't die. That's the whole thing, and your Firewalkers would just keep on shooting at them. Over here, Placeholder will try to keep those moderators in place, though. Yeah, okay, there they finally are. The Ronins are going to try and clean up those moderators. And the Placeholder has not died yet. Actually, a little bit surprised at like how well Chomo is able to hold this position. And like getting all of this reclaim would be great. I mean, they have got 7 convicts over there. So that does definitely help. Over here, Firewalkers are pushing the position, and Gauss, because it is shooting, is not armored. There you go, and now you're also plus 10 HP per second. Not as strong as it was before, because it was 20 when armored up. And armor itself has also been taken down from like a quarter damage to like only a third. So it's definitely not as good of a counter as it was, I don't know, like a year ago. But still pretty good. Liko! Singularity Bomber, really strong, really strong. Expensive as well though, so you don't want to lose that. So it should not move forwards all that much, because well, the Liko has left. It's gone back to base. Right, Dregs. Yeah, Dregs is not able to get up a geothermal anywhere. They're trying to get up fusions, but the forward fusions have been like denied or taken down every single time. I really do think that the economy is just what's allowing Chomo to both hold positions like this, but also push forwards. I mean, if we look at what Dregs has on the field, I mean, a couple of emissaries. They had 1 Firewalker, and they've got a couple of Toads. That's not a lot. Whereas, well, Chomo has got 1 Firewalker here, a lot of defenses, a couple of Pyros, more Firewalkers, and like 1 Liko somewhere. Oh, there. Taking down 1 emissary. Toad. Still not really a unit I personally really like, but it does just barely take down the Liko, which means that it has already made cost very easily. I mean, Toads are expensive for anti-air, but still 500, that's like a fourth, or like 25% of a Liko. Over here, what are you going for next? I mean, you're building Threshers? Yeah, okay, with Liko coming out for Dregs soon, maybe that's a good idea. Also phantoms, nice to see those. But I didn't know if Dregs would ever like... Ooh, I wanted to say if Dregs would ever dare move in here, but if you build a Trinity, yes, they would like to go in here quite quickly then. So yeah, this is probably around the time where I would imagine Chomo like start to pull ahead just in skill, not even in economy, which is definitely a plus for them as well, and the army they have got on the field. But they're of course quite good, I wanted to say, but like no, they are quite experienced in like late game battles because they mainly play casual, at least that's what I have seen from them. So late game like teams games they're used to, which means that this whole shebang with like a lot of firewalkers, Trinity, that's not exactly special for them. I don't know how Dregs is in their like late game. And well, a nuke over here would be very nice. And since Dregs is not actually getting up like anti-nuke, wouldn't surprise me if they're not really used to these fights. Trinity is now up, which means that in 3 minutes time, if they're able to keep up the production, we'll have a nuke on the field. A couple of firewalkers, or at least one, went down to the leak hole. And there is not really any mobile anti-air out for Chomo. That could be a problem, but there we have a Trident anti-air gunship. Really nice, at least for the like alpha shot, 600 damage and only like 270 HP. Against like singular Lecos, I mean 2360 HP. Yeah, those die relatively quickly. I mean 4 Tridents should be enough to like one-shot them, right? And there are more than that in the amount of Tridents on the field. So, over here, well, Dregs is trying to build a Stinger. I mean, this could be very problematic for them soon if Chomo moves forwards. I mean, a lot of Lotus are going to be constructed here. Dregs probably needs to focus on this at least a little bit. Okay, so they will try to focus on it with Jax, which is a pretty good counter to like base defenses, but also the commander. But, well, if the Stinger does not go up, you're in a little bit of problem. Dregs? Okay, this is going to be a problem. This Stinger will not complete, which pretty much gives Chomo free reign to go in there. Dirtbags, I mean, not exactly strong, but I mean good counter to like the tanks. So dropping all of their dirt over here is not that bad for Chomo, even though they didn't really accomplish that much. I mean, a lot of them are coming in. 38 still. Okay. This would just disrupt the tank movement, mainly. And well, since Chomo doesn't really have vehicles on the field, it's mainly a problem for Dregs. However, it also like, well, that's not really useful. That's Conjurer, yep. Well, 370, so not that much reclaim yet, because well, dirtbags are dirt cheap. But still, I mean, wouldn't surprise me if this does give at least some benefit to Dregs. And oh, Liko went down. Chomo's commander did not. Emissaries will try to kill the commander, however, commander should be able to get out of range, right? Yeah, quite easily. Right, so advanced Geo over here now. Also really nice. And, oh, there it goes. Nuke launched. Nuke launched. There it is. And I would imagine the nuke is just going like straight into the base. That could be GG, right? Nuke, where are you going? Nuke! Yep, that's GG. I can't see Dregs recover from this. I really can't. That whole base has just been nuked. Nothing is left for Dregs. They've got a little bit of army, but that's it. I mean, their eco isn't that bad, but it's still only half of Chomo. Just because of that insane overdrive. With like 200 plus wind turbines, advanced geo over here, normal geo over there. Yep, Chomo really did a good job macroing. Dante is out, and I don't know why Dregs hasn't given up. I mean, Dregs, are you still doing anything? Not that one. Although? Yep. Okay, yeah, well, you are still going to try and do something over here. Building storage, sure. What are you doing? Do you actually believe you're going to come back from this? Or is this just, I don't want to give up yet? Right? I mean, you're seeing a Dante now. You should know this is over. Just the fact that they were able to produce... Yeah, okay, well played. The fact that Chomo was able to get up and nuke without sacrificing all that much army should have already been enough to make Dregs give up. So, well done that you made it this far into the video. Consider watching the video in your lower left. But that's all I'm going to have for you today, and I'll see you in another video. Bye. Really nice overdrive, allowing for so much more metal.